Manchester United can raise 100 million by selling these 5 players. Manchester United are expected to bolster their squad with multiple signings this summer, but part of the transfer business could depend on player sales. With the threat of breaching the profitability and sustainability rules, the club are likely to spend with extra caution and will want to recoup funds first. Here are 5 players United could offload to recoup at least 100 million. Jadon Sancho. The Englishman fell out with manager Erik ten Hag after he was dropped for the Arsenal game in September. Sancho was subsequently banished from first-team training before he was loaned out to Borussia Dortmund in January. The winger has started to find his feet at his former club, and he recently scored a stunning goal from the edge of the box. Dortmund are open to re-signing him permanently, and a deal worth 30 million could be agreed this summer. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The 26-year-old managed to revive his career under manager Erik ten Hag during the back end of last season, but has not been able to sustain the same form. He has had an injury-plagued campaign and looks likely to move on. United have no plans of negotiating a new contract with him at the moment. With the club eyeing a new right-back, Wan-Bissaka could be sold for a cut price fee. He is currently valued at 17 million by Transfermarkt, which appears a fair price. Casemiro. The Brazilian was brilliant in his debut campaign for United. He brought an instant upgrade with his defensive contributions and was also involved in the final third with goal involvements. He scored in the Carabao Cup final win over Newcastle United. However, he has regressed during his second season. The 31-year-old has lost pace, mobility, and has been prone to losing regular possession. A transfer to Saudi Arabia won't come as a surprise in our opinion. United may look to recoup at least 20 million. Lindelof had a good end to the previous campaign, where he stepped up in the injury absence of Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane. The Sweden international had the chance to replicate the same earlier this year, but he ended up suffering an injury of his own. Like Wan-Bissaka, his contract expires in the summer of 2025. United have already exercised an extension clause in his deal. If there is no progress over a renewal, he could make way instead of Harry Maguire, who has redeemed himself with his performances. Lindelof could leave for 13 million. United should be optimistic of securing at least 100 million from the above-mentioned quintet. It may not be sufficient to pursue their desired targets during the summer, but manager Erik ten Hag would have funds to upgrade positions where he needs more quality ahead of next season. Man United targeting 2 defensive reinforcements, Jarrad Branthwaite and Edmund Tapsoba on the radar. Manchester United are keeping tabs on Everton defender Jarrad Branthwaite and Bayer Leverkusen centre-back Edmund Tapsoba for the upcoming transfer window. Man United's defence is expected to undergo a major overhaul with Rafael Varane and Johnny Evans' current deals expiring this summer. Victor Lindelof's contract still has 1 more year left. However, the Red Devils might want to cash in on the Sweden international. According to the Manchester Evening News, United have Branthwaite and Tapsoba on their shortlist. Branthwaite has been superb at the back for Everton this season. His performances forced Gareth Southgate to hand him a call-up to the national team. He is one of the top transfer targets for the Red Devils, although there are concerns about his 80 million price tag. Tapsoba is among the standout defenders in the Bundesliga this season, helping Bayer Leverkusen to win the coveted league title. The 25-year-old is a right-footed centre-back with incredible passing range. He could be a like-for-like replacement for Varane, who faces an uncertain future at Old Trafford. It could be difficult for United to prize him away from Leverkusen, especially with manager Xabi Alonso staying as the manager. Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez are the only 2 senior United centre-backs who might still be with the squad next season. The former Leicester City defender has stepped up on and off the pitch and could remain at Old Trafford. Martinez is United's best centre-back when he is available. He has suffered several injuries over the last 12 months that have forced him to miss out on most of the season. Signing a couple of new centre-backs must be Man United's priority this summer. European giants establish keen interest in Mason Greenwood as United outline their transfer valuation. Plenty of Manchester United supporters are warily anticipating how the club plans to handle Mason Greenwood's return this summer. Upon the culmination of the campaign, the forward will again be the Red Devils' issue to solve. Any recreation to the disastrous handling of the situation at the beginning of the season would certainly see Sir Jim Ratcliffe in hot water before his tenure as co-owner has even properly begun, so you'd expect that he approaches the topic more sensitively than how John Murtough and Richard Arnold did. United opted against reintegrating the player back into their squad last summer after leaks had suggested that there were plans in place for him to resume his role in the team. But it was the strong resistance from fans that led to senior figures performing a U-turn on their initial decision and announcing that the player would continue his career away from Old Trafford. At the time, Greenwood hadn't played a minute of competitive football since he was charged with attempted rape, controlling and coercive behavior, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm in January 2022, charges that were subsequently dropped in February 2023 after key witnesses withdrew their participation from the case and new material came to light. Such baggage has left top European clubs reluctant to take on the outcast 22-year-old, especially after watching United's completely incompetent handling. However, Juventus are now seemingly impressed with what they've seen of Greenwood at Getafe and are open to negotiating a permanent deal with his parent club. Times Sport claims that United are hoping to pocket around 40 million for their academy graduate. They also have the option of activating a one-year extension in his contract, which is currently set to expire in 2025. United poised to face stiff competition from Spurs and West Ham in pursuit of soon-to-be Premier League free agent. It was confirmed last week that when Tosin Adarabioyo's Fulham contract expires in June, he will be leaving the club and embarking on a new venture elsewhere. The centre-half had already attracted a handful of potential suitors who were keeping tabs on his situation, and they've now received the assurances they need to ignite their pursuit this summer. Manchester United, West Ham United, and Tottenham Hotspur are all keen on keeping Adarabioyo in the Premier League. Although at this stage, it remains to be seen which club he'd prefer if granted the choice of all three. Game time is likely to play a crucial part in negotiations, given that he's used to being a mainstay in Marco Silva's starting 11 when fit. He could well play an integral role at the heart of the Red Devils' backline next term, as Raphael Varane and Johnny Evans will be leaving the club when their respective contracts come to an end this summer. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire face uncertain futures, while Willy Kambwala is still navigating the transition from youth to senior football. As such, it leaves just Lisandro Martinez as the one centre-back who is certain to be named on the team sheet each week. Adarabioyo, 26, is a product of Manchester City's academy. He made only 8 appearances for their first team and completed loan spells with West Brom and Blackburn Rovers to gain experience before completing a permanent £2 million move to the Cottagers in 2020. Transfer expert confirms lackluster Ten Hag signing is on the hunt for a new club. Indeed, the Red Devils have no intention of making the Moroccan international's transfer permanent after what's been nothing short of a lackluster season for Amrabat in Manchester. There was a 21 million buy clause included in the terms of his temporary deal, but he has shown nothing worthy of warranting such a fee to stay at Old Trafford long term. Therefore, he will return to Fiorentina in the summer. Since Amrabat made the switch from England to Italy on deadline day last September, he has been used sporadically by his former Utrecht coach, Erik ten Hag, making just 13 starts across all competitions thus far, 7 of which came in the Premier League. The 27-year-old has also been granted a further 12 appearances off the bench while ranking behind Kobbie Mainoo, Scott McTominay, Christian Eriksen and Casemiro in the pecking order.